Sankta, humanoid beings adorned with halos above their heads and luminescent wings of diverse shapes and sizes on their backs, are typically born in Laterano, and their physical existence is intricately bound by the law, manifested through their halos. As dictated by this law, any union between a Sankta and a member of another race ensures the birth of a non-Sankta offspring. Despite their historical obscurity, Sankta share a common origin with the Sarkaz Tikaz from ancient eras, an unsettling truth overshadowed by the Sarkaz's perception of them as traitors, who willingly shed the blood of their sibling race. The Sarkaz, still haunted by this perceived betrayal, continue to mourn the divergence of paths between the two kindred races. So now that we got some Sankta race lore mouthfuls out of the way, it's time to say more sentences. Arin, having been expelled due to early onset oropathy, distinguishes himself among the Sankta by maining firearms in favor of honing long-range arts, all while grappling with the dual tragedy of losing both parents and sharing a university with Aya. Ambrielle, with an affinity for the classic and outdated Lee Enfield sniper rifle, balances her sharpshooting prowess with a love for sweets and mindless movies, embodying a super easy-going demeanor that, curiously, extends to her unconventional penchant for tax evasion. Apple Pie, also known as Lemuel, sorry about that, and no, Mostima is not her sister but rather a childhood friend, has an overly generous nature that leaves her permanently broke, a paradoxical blend of low attention span coupled with exceptional marksman skills. She holds the unique distinction of being the first 6-star operator accessible with her appearance in 0-0, a debut that is ironically underscored by her past of being, no joke, a school bombing terrorist 17 times. Adnakio, embodying qualities of modesty alongside a deeply considerate nature and a sense of shame for only being able to craft a meager 25 types of desserts, stands out as an exceptional friend, yet his beta male arms compels him to modify his crossbow, an endeavor that led to his inability to complete the Laterano firearms test. Enforcer is a fairly new executor who makes excellent black coffee, the best in Rhodes Island, and defied the church's order, which he later gets pardoned for being the caretaker of Sicilia, who he still cares for to this day. Agenir, a disciple of the Pope and a highly respected man in Siracusa for being the founding father of its legal system, became a guide for Signora Cecilia after she discovered a peculiar admiration for his distinctive home cleaning methods, forging a connection over many decades despite their differences. Okay, forget the one-sentence rule for this next guy. Andoin, the Iberian Sancta pastor with no official Lateran documentation, faced heartbreak as his hometown was ravaged by the Seaborn, leading him to seek aid from Laterano, from which his plea was met with rejection despite his family and community's devout Laterano faith, all because they were not true Sancta. Much later, during a mission with Lemwin, Mostima, and Fiammetta, he discovered some gangster shit that led to his betrayal, forcing Mostima to shoot him in self-defense, violating Laterana code in the process. He held the belief that Cecilia was the catalyst for change in Laterano, but everything took a drastic turn when the Pope revealed the truth behind Laterano's law, prompting Andoin's jaw and pants to drop to the floor and immediately abandon his quest for Lateran change. Cecilia, a half-Sancta, half-Sarkaz abomination who sports a shining halo in stark contrast to Sancta beliefs, rang a bell and unleashed a spontaneous freestyle performance akin to an angelic symphony. And, despite her sheltered and isolated upbringing, she effortlessly gets along with other children at Rhodes Island, all before departing on her quest to find her Sarkaz father. Pause for a second. This little girl has more social skills than me and my entire friend group. Lemwin, Apple Pie's adopted older sister, got curb stomped by Andoin and was put into a coma for 5 years. But now she perseveres through rigorous physical therapy, determined to reclaim the ability to walk and emerge from the shadows of her past. Outcast is an elderly figure yearning for a peaceful retirement, but then gets dispatched to Victoria just as war breaks out, becoming the unlikely savior of reed and bagpipe when the six simps attack, sacrificing herself in the process and breaking her covenant with Calcit. Gabe Newell, the current Pope of Laterano, who's surprisingly tolerant of fallen Sancta, won an arm wrestling competition because of his unwavering belief that Sancta law stands unyielding in its immovability. Orin did some stuff. Does anyone care? Mostima, wielding the Cosdelian artifacts of the Black Lock and White Key that slow the perception of time, stands as a fallen Sankta who cast aside her emotions because of the amount of players thinking she has a blue tongue. I was one of those people. Executor is a boring executor. Okay, let me try this again. This man is suspected of being a robot created by Closure and is one of the only operators to make Kaltzit laugh. Not in a good way. Fiammetta is our last character, and she's the only one that's not a Sankta, so we're just including her for the hell of it. The one-armed chainsaw guy unexpectedly becomes Mostima's babysitter after the Fallen incident, and speaking of the incident, out of all the members of PC, she struggles the most with forgiving Anduin, possibly due to the visceral memory of when he literally beat a girl up so hard that she was in a coma for 5 years. Now, I don't know about you guys, but that does sound like a difficult thing to forgive someone for. And ladies and gentlemen, that is it. I know. I play on Global, so I can't make one for Arturia or Fortuna, but we appreciate them anyway. And I appreciate you for watching up until this point. Until next time, stay safe.